Well, welcome to this edition of In the Works. I'm Ryan McReynolds, Public Works Director for the City of Kingsport. And on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, we like to keep you informed of the different projects that are going on within the City of Kingsport. And today what we thought we would do is just visit a project, one that's very visible, that most people in town have seen the last few months. And we'd just like to give you an update of what we have done to date and where we're going. Behind me you can see the intersection presently of Netherland Inn, Center Street, and Industry Drive. And this has always been a tough intersection to be able to turn left from Industry onto Netherland Inn, or to turn from Center Street onto Industry Drive. So years ago, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen had allocated money for a fix to this, and the solution that was deemed most appropriate was a roundabout. And so that's what we're in the process of building right now. And the last few months, what we've been working on, or last few weeks, has been the underground infrastructure to get it all in place. That includes the sanitary sewer, the water. Right now they're working on the conduit for the street lighting that will light the circle once it's complete. And once all of that's done, once all the underground infrastructure is done, then we'll begin working above ground. In fact, in the last few weeks we've been doing a lot of soil preparation to get the soil to the point that when you build your road, the road will stay where it should and not fall back down into the earth. So in the next few weeks you should see much more visual progress, but to date you've actually seen quite a bit. Across my shoulder behind me you can actually see the outline of the inner circle of the roundabout right now. And there's a surveyor back there that is placing construction stakes. These are the stakes that help guide the construction company on where is the edge of pavement, edge of curb line, elevations. So this is a real promising point in the construction progress, because you're starting to see the layout of the actual roundabout. If you look, the cars that are going from Center Street to Netherland Inn in the design will continue that same path. They'll actually stay outside the roundabout, and the cars going from Industry Drive to Center Street will continue on their normal path without going into the roundabout. But all other traffic will enter the roundabout in a much more evenly spread distribution than what we see at the intersection right now. As you drive by these sites, you might wonder, now how do they get everything just right? From a set of plans, sheet of plans to what's actually built. And really the key to the whole operation is your survey data. And these stakes right here, which the surveyor behind us has been laying out, helps direct the contractor in what to build. And as I read this, it says that from this point, there's a 2-foot offset inward to the back of curb. Not only does it tell the construction company where to begin the back of curb, but it also gives him a location to grade to. There's a point on this stake that says top of curb. And so when the guy running the backhoe or track hoe or piece of machinery is operating and trying to build this road, these stakes that run the full length of the roundabout are really what guide him in the ground. Now what guides a surveyor is the construction plan. So that's how we go from the construction plans to what is built. Like I said earlier, one of the biggest tasks in building any road project is moving the existing utilities out of the way and preparing the new utilities to service the new roadway. And I'm standing right next to a base for the street lights. And this ditch line that's running from me to you is the conduit for the electrical service for the street lights. So prior to having these decorative street lights, the roadway was serviced by the telephone poles with street lights, what we call Cobra head street lights off the telephone poles. So in time, when we get those up, then we're able to remove the other telephone poles out of the way so the road can be completed. And this is one of those poles that's sitting right in the middle of the new proposed roadway. And not only would street lights be a consideration, but we also have to look at the power company, the phone, cable, and there are also fiber optic lines that will utilize these poles. So all of those have to be relocated out of the pathway before we can get these poles out of the way to build our road. Another one of the aspects of building any kind of road project that has to be done before you begin the road is the utility relocation. And I'm standing beside a fire hydrant. As you can see with the existing road next to me, this fire hydrant, the water line that it's connected to is running adjacent to that road. Well, since the road is moving, we've got to move this fire hydrant that's basically going to be in the center of a travel lane once we're done out to another location. So this one's active right now, and the new water line has been constructed but is not in operation. And in the meantime, they have built the new fire hydrant, which this whole road's going to be at a lower elevation, and the new fire hydrant's located right here. And at some point in time, they'll disconnect that water line, bring all the water service over to this fire hydrant. That way they'll clear all that utility work out of the road construction project. Another one of the most important aspects of building a new roadway or intersection is making sure that you get the drainage just right. That the road, that when it rains, water leaves the roadway and is passed away to the receiving ditch line. And that's another one of those first things that has to be built before you can build the roadway. And I'm standing on the top of a catch basin that's going to be on the curb of the new roadway. And there's a lot of work done prior to that being built, these large concrete pipes being placed underground in order to make sure that that drainage system works properly.